Hi, everyone. Hey, so this is the weekly scope of January 19th to the 26th, actually 25th, but um, typos there, sorry. So take a screenshot because I'm going to be changing the screen. I'm not going to be having a generic intro. I'm going to just jump in straight into the signs and taking a screenshot for you to follow along with me or um, or you can compare it to your natal chart after, whichever works for you. So we are going to get into. We're going to start with. Hi, Cancer. Hope you guys are doing well. So this video is your weekly scope for, January 19th to the 25th, and the theme for this week is a turning point, a turnaround, a shift, and this week also has a new focus regarding the future. And for you, it is regarding your eighth house of joint finances, intimacy, the mortgage, inheritance, any government benefits, um, secrets, the past, taboo subjects, and um, and all that good stuff. This house is also the house where you benefit from other people's money, and it's usually in lump sums. So that has been uh, somewhat in the background, starting to build. And you actually got a sneak peek of what that may be about earlier last year in January, February. And then the end of last year, November, something started there in earnest. So we have this new focus. The sun will be in Aquarius, and it will be illuminating something about that. Um, we still have some Capricorn weather. And Mars is still retrograde in your sign and will retrograde into Leo as well, or go forward in your sign and go forward in Leo. So the other focus uh, that is shifting, that's doing a turnaround, is in regards to you, the way you appear, your image, the way you are seen, your physical profile, your profile online, and what have you. So we did have um, some fallouts occur back in October, November regarding Mars and Cancer, and then it came up against Pluto in Capricorn, which is your seventh house of partners. It can be business, platonic, or personal. And we also had something about your career, your status. Status is married, not married, single, not single. It's a status thing. Um, and also your reputation and authority figures. Plus your home, your family, your parents, um, your living situation, love, romance, and children was also all in the mix. It was a hot mess. um, some of you could have ended a relationship, separated. Some of you could have actually gotten engaged or married. Um, but there was an opposition between your home and family and regarding your career. If it was about a separation, your home and family was against that. Or if it was um, unification, there was still an issue regarding home and family and your status. Also, with you, well, you are all about family, and that includes siblings as well. If you did not experience any angst, any fallout, or anything like that, you probably experienced it personally through maybe a sibling or or could have been a cousin or something, but somebody really close to you. Um, the other thing is your your friendship zone, your friend, your group, um, your alliances. There was something in the mix with that. In any case, I do have detailed monthly horoscopes, and you can look up October and November's video to get a better taste of it. Otherwise, listen for your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign, and that can give you a better, clearer picture. But what happened is last week we had a surprising or a shocking, um, maybe abrupt, out of the blue, a revelation, and it came through in about friends. It was something about a friend or friends or a group or a circle, an association that triggered some sort of revelation. okay, regarding you yourself and and your status or a partner. I don't know how this friend is in the mix, but something blew up last week. Maybe a conversation, but it related back to October, November's fallout. And with that came a breakthrough because you realized something. Um, you realized maybe the way you might have acted or the way that maybe you were seen. Or it could be, somebody else acted that way. And um, you might not have noticed that back in October, November. But Mars, like I said, is retrograde right now in your sign. So when a planet goes back and forth, it comes back with information that we did not have before. So again, there was a piece of a puzzle that you and others got in a surprising way last week that revealed some sort of understanding, which led to a breakthrough and then some compassionate healing about it. And that was the breakthrough. Now, as we move into this week, it's a heavy duty week. It's really intense. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's a lot going on. We're going to have some aspects to what happened last week, this that revelation, and this week, with more maybe tense arguments, discussions, some transgression against feelings, bringing up some wounds or hurt. Then there will be a shift. It will be like, okay, we need to put this to bed. This has to turn around somehow. So that's why I'm saying it'll be a turnaround. And I'll go through the aspects and tell you what it is. Um, but it'll be, again, it's Uranus in the mix. So there will be some kind of a realization like, okay, this has to turn around. There needs to be a turning point. Now, this is far from over. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this story in October, November is not over. And if you had listened to my October, November scope, I did tell you that there will be, if there was an ending, there will be some type of a resurrection in spring. It might not be the same exact people or person, but, and it may be, you never know. Depends on your situation. Let me get that. And it could be maybe a different person, a new person or people, but it'll have the same theme, the same flavor, or it could be that same person. Um, so that's what's going on. Now I'm going to go into your scope, and where's Cancer? There you are. Okay, and but before I do for this week to tell you about the aspects, is there was an aspect on the 17th, and I don't know why I haven't heard any other astrologers talking about this, and it's important because it has some aspects this week. Anyway, on Juno, the asteroid, is in Scorpio. Scorpio is your fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, pets, and gambling. And the eighth house is, or Scorpio is natally rules the eighth house, which is also about intimacy, joint finances, secrets, the past. It's an intense sign. Uh, Juno rules commitment. And when in Scorpio, she means business. So it's about a serious commitment. It's a do or die kind of commitment. But Juno also, well, she was Jupiter's wife, and he was a womanizer, and she was always running around trying to figure out who it was. And so she's possessive and jealous, but she also used to take revenge on the other woman. um, so, yeah, with her being in Scorpio, and Scorpio does revenge really well. um, it's- so these two combined, it's the next level revenge, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Um, and also, the other two asteroids that are in Scorpio are Vesta and Apollo. So the picture seems to be a man, uh, maybe a leader, I'm doing air quotes, or some kind of power or control, with two women vying for his attention. Okay, that's what's being portrayed. And that may be your situation. I'm not saying all of you, I'm just saying some of you. And for the rest of you, it can play out in different scenarios. So, your love and romance house, it might be a lover that does is still attached to someone else. And there is talk of commitment, like either we commit or what. Or it can be his mother and you, and there's some type of a jealousy situation, or maybe there's a child um, and you, and there's some play around that. It can be a lot of different scenarios because there's a lot of many cancers with many different uh, um, you're at different stages of your life with many other areas being affected that are different for each cancer. But I just wanted to let you know that this is in the picture. So Juno and Scorpio did oppose Uranus and Taurus on January 17th at 23 degrees. And uh, again, why I'm mentioning it is because this degrees is important. The 23 degrees is the degrees that Mars transversed over last October, and with Aries, super full moon that was quite explosive was at those degrees too. So mm, it's bringing up that situation, but now it's regarding a commitment, or there's some jealousy or possessiveness here that's going on. And while it'll retrograde, Juno will retrograde in Scorpio. And on May 4th at 26 degrees, it'll make the same opposition with Uranus and Taurus. Um, and let me see where Taurus is your 11th house. Yes, it's no, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. It is your 11th house of groups, friends, a friend, an association of some sort. So it'll make another opposition on May 4th at 26 degrees. And it's coinciding with the end of Uranus's tour of Taurus. And Uranus is the planet of shock and surprise. It comes in with a bang, and it usually leaves with a bang. Um, and and of course, you've already experienced these surprises or shocks throughout the past 7 years in regards to friends or groups. But on May 4th, with it coinciding with Uranus's maybe explosive ending in Taurus and Juno with the opposition, challenges from the 17th will come back up again then. And if there are still issues about possessiveness, about jealousy, or about commitment, um, some commitments will break here on May 4th. It's just too powerful of an aspect. Juno and Scorpio, like I said, is serious, and Uranus is not to be shadowed. Planet of electricity and shock. So if there are issues, I'm saying if there are issues, the relationship will break here. So I just wanted to note that, and I will explain what Juno's doing this week, or Scorpio, and we have Juno there, like I mentioned. Uh, and so let's go on to, excuse me, the 19th. So Sun enters Aquarius. Hooray and hallelujah. The sun is out of Capricorn, but we still have Mercury in Capricorn. So there are still going to be discussions about that. But our focus is shifting to a new area of our life, to the future. And like I mentioned, Aquarius for you is sorry, your eighth house of joint finances and intimacy. So something regarding, sorry, your eighth house is being illuminated here for you to see. And it happens every year. You know, you do a checkup on this house every year. But this year it's a little different because we've got Pluto there. So your focus is now on joint finances and intimacy. Also on Sunday, Venus in Pisces, semi squared Pluto in Aquarius, and Mercury in Capricorn, sextiled Saturn in Pisces. So Pisces, I don't know why I keep losing. Okay, so Pisces is your ninth house of foreign people, higher education, um, long distance travel, publication, and the World Wide Web. So, in regards to Sunday, Venus in Pisces has been beautifying this house regarding foreigners or long distance travel or publication. And Venus attracts love, money, fortune, and fame. And Pisces, oddly enough, is also related with money. So you might have traveled somewhere, or there might have been maybe publication or something. You might have seen money here or heard about money. But here on, I mean, this month, but here on this day, it semi squares Pluto in Aquarius. So something about higher education or foreigners is not sitting well in regards to your joint finances and intimacy. And this can be as mundane as maybe you're away at school and you need money, and you have to dip into joint finances, or you have a child that needs money and it's affecting your joint finances. It can be as mundane as that. But there is a tense aspect between your house of education and your joint finances. Then Mercury in Capricorn sextiles actually Saturn in Pisces. So a discussion from a partner is actually then helping regarding this higher education or foreigner or long distance. So there's that outlet there. On Monday, hold on to your, put on your seatbelts. We have some serious things happening here. Uh, Moon in Libra squares Mercury in Capricorn. Moon in Libra squares Mars retrograde in your sign. Moon in Libra opposes Chiron in Aries. And if that's not enough, Sun in Aquarius semi squares Saturn in Pisces. These are not nice aspects. These are quite tense aspects. Now, Libra is all about relationships, and Libra is your fourth house of home, family, and parents. And Capricorn is your seventh house of partnerships. So there's a discussion with family or a parent, or maybe your mother, that is not received well by a partner. There's a heated discussion here, maybe a stern discussion. With the moon in Libra squaring Mars in your sign retrograde, again, it's regarding your home and family and how you appear or how you're seen. Your family is dictating that, saying that. Um, or again, Libra is your home, house of home and family, but Libra also rules all types of relationships. So keep that in mind. It can be a different relationship. Um, and then Moon in Libra opposes Chiron in Aries, and Aries is your 10th house of career and status and reputation and authority figures. So your home or family or your mother or a certain relationship um, is triggering an old wound regarding your status, your reputation, or regarding your career. Status is married, not married, single, not single. It's a status thing. So we have that right off the bat. And the sun then in Aquarius semi squares Saturn in Pisces. Um, I was telling Taurus and Gemini just tied under the bed today. um, the sun semi squaring Saturn in Pisces. So Aquarius is your eighth house of joint finances. Um, and Pisces is your ninth house of travel. This again might be something about your joint finances. You're being empowered regarding your joint finances, either through someone very powerful or a group, a circle, or something like that. You're going to be learning about power and control regarding your eighth house of intimacy and joint finances. Saturn has been restricting your ninth house of education and travel. Excuse me. So for the past 2 years, you've seen some sort of restriction regarding travel, long distance travel, and higher education. So Aquarius wants to broaden your horizon regarding joint finances. So there's this group coming in that's trying to empower you in that direction. And Saturn is still trying to say, well, hold on, you still need this foundation before you can travel, before you can expand here. Okay, and many of you are teachers, and it might be a foreign student or foreign subject, or maybe you're abroad taking a class. Uh, so that's what's going on there. So Monday starts off like that. We also have a last quarter moon, I believe, Monday late or Tuesday early. So we're already sensing. Well, we were already sensing these strong shifts that are coming in this week, but with the last quarter moon, we're already sensing that it's something's coming to an end. Something is going to shift. So keep that in mind. All right, on the 21st. Um, the 21st, the next day is even worse. You probably hate me. You guys probably hate me. Anyway, I just don't like to be like, oh, it's great, it's this. I like to hear the truth, and I like to sugarcoat things for myself. So hopefully you're on the same page. So on Monday, Mercury in Capricorn will square Chiron in Aries. So there is a stern conversation from a partner, and it is triggering this old wound, this hurt regarding your career, your status, your reputation. And then the sun in Aquarius will conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. This can be good or it can be tense. Remember, Aquarius is your eighth house of joint finances, and there is someone here, some type of a leader here, or it can be, like I said, maybe an association or a group um, that is empowering you about joint finances and intimacy, that are going to lift you, uplift you about something regarding your eighth house. Um, so this conjunction can be that it can be somebody's taking you under their wing and empowering you about something. And Aquarius is fast. If it is a negative aspect, it might be like a test, a Pluto pop quiz, where you need to step into your power, take the initiative, and not shy away. Okay, it could translate like that. Then we have the moon entering Scorpio. After that, the moon in Scorpio will square Pluto in Aquarius. And don't forget, like I said, Juno is in Scorpio. There's commitment, jealousy, or possessive issues here. For some of you that may think there is some type of um, competition. Like I said, some of you are solid as a rock, or you just got married, so it might just be intense feelings about joint finances and sorting that out. Uh, but with the moons in Scorpio squaring the sun in Aquarius, um, well, it can translate to something like this: the power and control is going to be given to you in your Aquarius related house. So that's joint finances. Um, Scorpio is also something about joint finances, but it is your fifth house of love, romance, and children and creativity. So here it might be that a prenup is requested of some sort, maybe you or them, or it could be if there was a separation. You are putting your foot down or taking the initiative regarding joint finances here. But check those degrees and see. And we're still really early into Aquarius, so most of you might not feel it because there's three different decans of each sign. So the first decan might feel it now, the second might feel it later, and so on. Then Saturn in Pisces will semi-square Pluto in Aquarius. So um, again, Pisces is your travel house, your higher education and publication, and it has been restricting you here. But it is squaring. There's a tense aspect in regards to your joint finances, intimacy, or could be government benefits, inheritance. Uh, so you might be planning on travel or something about a foreigner, and there's a problem with government paperwork, maybe. It could translate that way. Okay, some kind of restriction um, about your travel plans or a foreigner because of maybe government issues. So look to those degrees and see now. And the other thing, Monday and Tuesday, it's setting up this grand square in cardinal signs, which you are one of. There's four: you, Capricorn, Libra, and Aries. So all these four signs will feel this intensely. And for you, you'll feel it in your first house of image and how you are seen, your profile. And you will definitely feel it through a partner. And remember, partners can be, yes, personal and intimate, but they can also be business partner and actually anyone else who knows you really well. So a sibling can be a partner, a friend can be a partner, and you will feel it in your Libra related house, which Libra is your fourth house of home and family, maybe your parents, and then Aries, and Aries is, what am I? Aries is your 10th house of career, status, reputation, and authority figures. So these are the four cardinal signs that are just squaring up against each other. And cardinal signs really are the leaders. They're the ones that break through and free. And then us peons, we follow you guys. So that's why the cardinal signs will feel this the most. All right, on the 22nd, we do have Venus in Pisces, then semi-sextile Chiron and Aries. And see, this is what I meant is there's going to be this shift, this turnaround, where it's like, okay, we've tried everything. Now we just need to stop beating a dead horse. We need to put it to rest. Because early in the week, with all these heated debates, oppositions, triggering these old wounds and hurts, on Wednesday, there is this realization that with Venus and Pisces semi-sextiling, it's it's smoothing over that hurt that was triggered in regards to your career and your reputation and your status. It's smoothing that out. Okay. Um, on Thursday, we have Mars in your sign will sextile Uranus and Taurus. And here you go. This is the result of the shift you're making, the turnaround you're making. Um, and you had a full moon in your sign last week, or yeah, last week, or well, it was on the 13th, I believe. So something did end regarding you or your attitude or how you act, maybe. And with these really strong energies in the beginning of the week, and this old wound being triggered, and we're saying, okay, enough is enough. Let's just switch it around. Then Mars in your sign is making you much more relaxed, much more be seen as as the nurturing person, because you might have been seen not so nurturing as of late, and it is sextiling your friendship house. So your friends are being surprised with this, and they might be supporting you in a really good way. But then Mercury in Capricorn comes in and opposes again Mars in your sign. Geez, this partnership thing. So talk. And it might be a reserved talk or a cold, hard facts talk from a partner, um, maybe regarding your image, or just you are not liking what is being said. On the 23rd, with this Mercury in Capricorn opposing your sign, Mars in your sign retrograde, it could be like whatever is said, even if it's nice or bad, it might be just not taken well. We can't say something without, tripping up, something like that. Because then Mercury in Capricorn will trine Uranus and Taurus. So then that practical conversation actually is what is needed, and maybe your friends are explaining it to you, like, you know, that conversation is actually practical. It does make sense. Okay, it might be something like, well, I know this is your idea, but are you open to maybe changing an aspect of your idea, something like that? And friends are helping with this, because then after that, the moon enters Sagittarius. Yay! And we'll be feeling very optimistic and very social and hopeful about the future. So with this turnaround, we're like, yes, finally. Um, and with these friends and everything's being smoothed over, and we're putting something to rest, um, then we're becoming more social and hopeful about things. Um, I've already discussed that. So on the 24th, the moon in Sagittarius will sextile Pluto and the sun in Aquarius. This is very nice. Again, this hopeful attitude, which really changes your mind. Remember, partners reflect back to us how we feel inside. So, um, and Sagittarius is your sixth house of health, habits, routine, scheduling, taking care of someone. Um, and health can be your body and your mind, a healthy mind. So if you're in a happy spot, and if you're in a resolute spot where you've resolved something within yourself, within your psyche, you will project that onto others. And with the sextile from Pluto and the sun in your eighth house of intimacy, uh, is just that optimism, that projection of hope, and being sociable is looking really, it's working out something regarding your joint finances, intimacy, or anything regarding government benefits. The moon in Sagittarius will also oppose Jupiter in Gemini, and this can be actually a good transit. Sorry. And this can be actually a good opposition, um, because Sagittarius is your sixth house of health, habits, routines, scheduling, like I mentioned before. And Gemini is your 12th house of the psyche and the mind. So something about your schedule, about your routine, or taking care of someone, um, is opposing your alone time, or is opposing your psyche, whereas you might be fixated on something of the past. And it might be with that wound that was triggered earlier in the week. So, as far as a good aspect, it's good because then you understand or realize that it really is, if your mind is upset, it will translate into a physical ailment, God forbid, and hope not. Or if you have a physical ailment, then it your mind is not at ease and not at rest. And with the sixth house, both have to be equally healthy to go forward. So with this opposition, good, as far as a good opposition, it may be that realization. And like I said, you guys have you are on this health routine, health kick, and it's just stalled right now with the Mars retrograde because there's so much other things happening, but it's going to pick up again. Now, if it's a negative opposition, the same applies. Is try to realize here that it is a mind-body balance, which will help you out. So with the sixth house again, uh, you should break it up in 8 hours for sleep, 8 hours for work, and then 8 hours for fun and relaxation, and stick to that schedule as much as you can. I know you guys are you have a lot on your plate because you're sort of, even if you're a child, with cancer children, they take the mother position. So it's not only taking care of your own family, but it's taking care of your siblings and your cousins. And you don't sympathize, you empathize. You like soak in other people's energies. So yeah, try to find a balance there because it will really help you. And that's how the week ends, with that shift, that turnaround. Um, but it does start out tough and rough. And you don't have to engage if you do not want to, because if you do engage, because like I said, you might be experiencing this through a sibling or someone really close to you. And if you do engage, you are drawn in somehow. Um, but if it is about you, then at the end of the week, then you start, realizing it's about being healthy within your mind and your body. All right, Cancer, if you have any questions, I am answering all questions. You can comment below. Otherwise, I'm sorry, I told Taurus too. I just don't think I can do 5 minute, 10 minute scopes for any sign because I don't like to just do vague themes and do the counseling psychology kind of astrology. I want you to have like examples so that you can bite your teeth into it so you can understand. So condensing a week, and especially this week, was like, hey, no way am I going to keep it down to 10 minutes. So sorry if it was long, but you can speed it up if you want. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Hi, Leo. Hope you guys are doing well. So this is your weekly horoscope for the week of the 19th to the 25th. And I usually don't do weekly horoscopes, but I decided to do them, and especially this week because there is really heavy duty aspects, a lot of dynamic shifts happening this week. And I'm going to warn you ahead of time. I'm not the type that's going to do a 5 minute or a 10 minute scope. I just don't think it serves you. Because I don't just give you like, the scope and then do this vague theme and uh, embellish it with psychology and things. I mean, I'll counsel, but I do a little bit more depth. So what I'm trying to say is, especially with this week, with these really tense aspects, and my style to give you more detail, this is going to be a long weekly scope. Okay. But yeah, I decided to do that because there's super duper energies happening this week. Now, I need to just quickly go over what happened last week because it's a prelude to what's happening this week. And this week, the theme is a turnaround, a shift, a turning point. Okay, so you'll understand when I tell you what happened last week. So last week, there was a surprising revelation, a heated argument, discussion, and there was an outburst of some kind, but something was revealed by surprise, which with that realization, there came a breakthrough, and that breakthrough gave you some sort of understanding, which healed some things. uh, uh, you had compassion, and it's in regards to this ongoing story of what happened in October, November. In October, November, there were many relationships that severed, ended, separated, um, or there was a falling out of some sort. And there were, other relationships that were fine and solid as a rock. It didn't even affect them, or there were new relationships that started. But of course, if that's the case, nobody's going to listen to astrology. The happy ones, sort of. It's the people who had the problems. And for you, this is in regards to Mars and Cancer. So for you, it has something to do regarding your psyche, your mental health, the past, secrets or behind the scenes, um, confining spaces. Taking care of anyone also falls into this house, and any drug or alcohol use. Um, it can be abuse, but it might be like a long-term medical thing there where the drugs are used here. Um, so there was some type of an urgency. There was heat. There was arguments maybe regarding your alone time or being confined to to a restrictive place of some sort, and it of course bumped up against Pluto, and that you already know what that's about. That's your sixth house of health habits and routine, so a health issue. And then it also we had a very explosive full supermoon in Aries um, in October, and we had a super full moon in Taurus as well. So Aries is your ninth house of foreigners, long distance travel, higher education, and publication. And Taurus is your 10th house of career, reputation, and status, and how you are seen. And you are ruled by the sun. So you also rule children, love, romance, pets, and creativity. So your child was also in the mix, and probably the next generation. So if you have an adult child, it was about their children. They were going through some angst, or there was some sort of urgency there. And then Cancer, besides it being the 12th house, it is also natally rules the home and family and the mother. So it was a hot mess, Leo. Not to mention, Pluto is in Aquarius, and that is in your relationship house. So you've got some serious energy coming at you with partners. But it's mostly empowering because Aquarius is not like Capricorn. Aquarius is an air sign, you're a fire sign. So it's going to be very uplifting, very fast. And that's what Pluto and Aquarius will teach you. They'll teach you about power and control. And Aquarius does rule groups and friends. So it's not necessarily one partner, it can be different kinds of partners. Um, but I will say that you do feel like you're not in control. You do feel like you are being pushed around somehow. You almost feel sorry for yourself. I'm sorry. It's just I know what you guys are going through, so it's kind of painful. Um, and you may have lost friends as well that you know considered really like family. But this family issue, especially because you rule children and creativity and pets, it's hurting you somehow. But yeah, let's see what's going on. So I already explained that eruption that happened last week. It was regarding home and family situation, um, and maybe your children and taking care of someone. Um, and it was Uranus and Taurus. So a surprising twist about your reputation, your status, how you are seen, and it mainly has to do with this situation regarding your children or a romance, and how you are taking that in, how you're processing it, your psyche. So that was that breakthrough, and now we're going into this week. Um, with some heavy duty energies that we're going to continue that conversation regarding that breakthrough, which it's going to get intense again here, which will cause a shift, some kind of a turnaround, where you know you and others will say, okay, we've tried every way. We need to close the books on this. We need to make a shift. Um, but I just want to tell you, and I'm telling all the signs, this is not over yet. This story is not complete, even with this shift, with this turnaround this week, because it's Mars is still retrograde. So when planets go back and forth, um, and especially Mars, you are not getting there's a missing piece of the puzzle. One piece you got last week, that's why we had a breakthrough. There's still the last crucial piece that is still waiting in the future, which will be in March, April, and then you get the full story. And there is some sort of a resurrection of what may have ended in October, November, which is coinciding with this last piece of the puzzle, and another realization, and a very compassionate, like bitter melancholy sort of ending. But it's good. It's happy. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's going to be great. Um, and your living situation for a lot of you is something of a temporary situation. And again, it's it's Mars. It's retrograde because Cancer natally rules home and family. So once Mars goes direct, that's going to solve. And when Jupiter enters Cancer in July, you are going to see the biggest and best kind of home and family situation that'll be permanent and happy, and that really heals your psyche, your mind, because Cancer, remember, is your 12th house. With that said, I do want to tell you about a certain aspect that happened on the 17th. Okay, and I guess nobody's talking about this, but I think it's important. So we have the asteroids Juno, Vesta, sorry, and Apollo that are in the sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio for you, my dear friend, is your fourth house of home, family, living situation, your parents, and all that. It also rules the past and secrets and all that good stuff. But with Apollo, Vesta, and Juno here, the scenario is one male, some type of a person who is well, not leader. I'm doing air quotes, and two women vying for his attention. So that's going on in your home and your family or with parents. And like I said, since you rule children, and in your scope for most of you, it is about um, your child and maybe their husband, partner, or lover, and there's another foreign element in the picture. If it is about your child and the next generation, so your adult child and their child, there might have been a rift there where um, your child is the mother and maybe somebody else is in the picture, or it could be your child and your wife are at it, or something like that. There's a triangle situation in your home and family. Um, and Juno mostly, though, did oppose Uranus in Taurus on January 17th at 23 degrees. And this is why I'm mentioning it. This is why it's important, uh, is because 23 degrees is the same degrees that Mars had a problem with back in October, as well as the super full moon in Aries, your ninth house of travel, foreigners, and higher education. So it's triggering that super full moon and that dust storm back then. So Juno in Scorpio is Juno is about commitment. In Scorpio, she is serious because Scorpio is a very serious sign, and but Juno is also about possessiveness and jealousy. She was Jupiter's wife, so she ran around. He was a womanizer. She did a lot. So, so she not only was tormented like that, but she would take revenge. She was famous for taking revenge against all the other women. So Juno being that and serious and being in the very serious sign of Scorpio, and Scorpio knows revenge really well. Um, it's the next level revenge. It's the next level like possessiveness and jealousy. Um, so the opposition on the 27th was something about a commitment regarding home and family or between two people, and either either party was not committing to something. And this again, this can be you, but there was an opposition to a commitment because, like I said, of a jealousy issue or some kind of a possessiveness or insecurity. It could have been about insecurity. Now, uh, Juno will retrograde in the sign of Scorpio, and it will make the same opposition on May 4th. But it's coinciding with the crazy Uranus, shock and surprise planet, that is ending its tour of Taurus. Again, Taurus is your 10th house of reputation and career. Um, and usually Uranus comes in with a bang and leaves with a bang. So Juno and Scorpio being super serious, and then Uranus exiting with a bang. Some commitments that will not resolve this jealousy, possessiveness, or insecurity issue about commitment will break on May 4th. They will fall apart. It's just too powerful of a aspect, and they may break. Again, not all of you. I'm saying the people who will revisit that intensity, those negative feelings. The ones that solve it will be fine. So I just wanted to let you know that because this week we do have aspects to Scorpio, and Juno, Vesta, and Apollo are there too. All right. So I will start with Sunday. Okay. So the sun enters Aquarius. Yay! Hallelujah. It leaves Capricorn. So we are shifting. Our focus is shifting to the future. We are we've had it with what's going on with the past, and trying to fix things, and things like that. And we can already feel that energy because we do have a last quarter moon on Tuesday. And that is the closing of something, the ending of something. Um, uh, so that is why the sun is entering here, and our focus is going to shift, regarding us, our, well, in your case, partnerships. Your partnerships are going to be very enlightening, very fast and furious. It's Aquarius, but they'll be very empowering you. Uh, they will teach you. Pluto and Aquarius will teach you what a powerful partner is, what control is, how to control it in good ways and bad ways. So the sun starts here with that on a Sunday. Now, also on Sunday, Venus in Pisces will semi square Pluto in Aquarius. And Pisces is your ninth house, like I said, of travel, higher education, foreign people, foreign lands, and all that great stuff. And with, where did I lost it? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. So you actually, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Pisces is your eighth house of joint finances, inheritance, intimacy, secrets, government benefits. That's what Pisces is for you. And when Venus first entered early in January, you did start to see um, something. Probably your joint finances got a boon. Eighth house also is the money you benefit from others, and usually in lump sums or gifts in kind, something like that. So you did start seeing that in the beginning of this month, and Venus started attracting that for you. But here on Sunday, it's semi squaring Pluto in Aquarius. So this partner or partnership may have been the one who is doing this gift in kind for you, or boosting your joint finances. But there is a situation, a detail about joint finances that you might discuss, and it might, be a little tense. Then we have Mercury in Capricorn that will sextile Saturn and Pisces. So with again with your joint finances, intimacy, you have been having some restrictions for the past 2 years here, because Saturn was restricting it so that you could have strong foundation regarding joint finances and intimacy. Sorry. And with Capricorn is your sixth house of health habits, routines, and scheduling. Um, so there's maybe a serious conversation, but it is really sitting well regarding your joint finances. It's a practical conversation. So again, this partner is helping you in some way with joint finances or intimacy, and there's a like an agreement, a practical agreement. Sorry, I'm so sorry, because maybe because you're this temporary living situation, maybe you guys are bumping into each other. I don't know, but and it's causing some agitation. But there's this practical conversation, sets that straight. It puts these boundaries in, agreements of sharing something. And it is sitting well with your health and your habit. And I won't go through the whole, if you have a physical ailment, your psyche is not going to be all there. If you have psyche, your mental state is not right, it's going to cause physical ailments. So there has to be a balance. So this conversation is setting up some kind of sharing in the routine and schedule. And it's sitting well with you, with your mind and body. All right, on the 20th, here is when we start to rock and roll. Here's when we start dodging bullets. um, Inauguration day, nonetheless. So we start out with Moon in Libra will square Mercury in Capricorn. Moon in Libra will square Mars in Cancer. And the Moon in Libra will oppose Chiron in Aries. Good Lord, Libra. It's getting us back for having that super full moon oppose it, I guess. So Libra is your third house of communication, commuting, siblings, extended family. Um, I said commuting, social media, and the neighbors and the neighborhood. Okay. Um, and of course, Capricorn is your schedule, routine, your health habits, taking care of someone. And small pets can be in here as well. Um, Maybe, again, because most of you are in a temporary living situation or a unique living accommodation or something like that. Your feelings, maybe your neighbors are awful, or you dislike this neighborhood, um, and or if it's again in regards to bumping into each other, maybe maybe both of you work out of the house. For example, just to give you an example, maybe both of you work out of a house, you and this partner, and maybe the space, like I said, is temporary or is small or something like that. So um, there's some discussion of like, okay, um, why don't you do errands like in the morning till noon till 1 so that I can finish my Zoom calls and I don't get disturbed, um, or vice versa. So, just to give you an example, so for you to get to be able to bite on to understand. And again, pets may be in the picture, maybe your pets or maybe theirs, and there's arguments about that because they're making noise or the space is small, as it is for two of you, and then to add pets. Anyway, I'll move on. I just wanted to give you an example. Because when it's squaring Mars in Cancer, that's your 12th house of your psyche, um, your mental peace of mind. So, so yeah, that's weighing heavy on your mind. And then when the Moon in Libra opposes Chiron in Aries, and Aries is your house of reputation and status, it's triggering a wound, a past hurt, and it is about the past. So you might be, because you're all up in your mind, you might be thinking that look where I was and look where I ended up, something like that. Because you're a very proud sign. I mean, you're very confident in yourself, but with all that's been happening, um, it has maybe shattered your confidence. So it's triggering some kind of a hurt regarding your reputation, your status, and it's about this neighborhood. Maybe, yeah, maybe you're like, I had this great place, this great whatever, and now look where I am, something like that. Okay, not all of you, just some of you. I'm just giving you a flavor. Um, and then we move on. Oh, before we do, Cupido, the asteroid Cupido does station direct in Gemini, and Gemini for you is your 11th house of friends, groups, associations, circle of friends, and they are quite talkative. You do enjoy their company. It's an air sign, and it sits well with a fire sign, and they always seem to have the right answer. So last year in June, you did either have many friends, started to see many friends, or old friends, new friends, a circle of community, a group. You started to be very busy with that, and you started a project, but it stalled, or they drifted away, or something like that. And that was because Jupiter started retrograding, as well as, like I said, the heavy duty firestorm in October, November. They started having their own issues, so they sort of that friendship, that circle, sort of stalled. But here, Cupido will ignite this passion about friends again, because then Jupiter stations direct February 4th and starts moving. So then you're going to start getting really busy with friends and groups, and that'll relieve this opposition with a partner in a confining space or something like that. So it's a nice end to that stressful day. Okay, sorry. Tuesday, the 21st. Okay. Tuesday's worse than one day, but I guess the saying goes, it has to get worse before it gets better, right? So we start off with Mercury in Capricorn, squaring Chiron and Aries this time. So a strict conversation, maybe a cold conversation, again, regarding your health, your routine, your scheduling, pets, is again triggering some old wound regarding your status, your career, your reputation. Leo, it's going to get better. Okay, I really want you to hold on to that confidence that you had. It's going to get better. I promise. Um, and after that, the Sun in Aquarius will conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. This is very this is very powerful. Um, Very powerful. It's the Sun and Pluto, god of the underworld. Your partner is quite powerful and has some control, um, something like that. This can be a good aspect. It is a tense aspect, but because it's Aquarius and the sun is your ruler, this can be a really great aspect. So you are being shown here power and control. Your partner might be egging you on or giving you this boost or taking you under their wings regarding power or control and just lifting you up. Like I told you, it's an air sign and you're a fire sign, and the sun is your ruler. So the sun will always protect you. Um, so pay attention to what happens here. You are being shown a very powerful partner who has control and is trying to empower you. Now, like I said, it's a tense aspect. So if there is any negative thing here, um, the sun, your ruler, is showing you um, how controlling a partner can be or how powerful they can be. So if it's a temporary thing, the universe will sever anything that's not good for you, that might overwhelm you. Um, but yeah, just pay attention to whatever power trip might come up here, um, whether it is empowering or whether you think will be overwhelming. All right, the moon enters Scorpio, and this is what I meant. That's why I mentioned those asteroids in Scorpio, because we have aspects here. The moon in Scorpio will square Pluto in Aquarius. Then the moon in Scorpio will square the sun in Aquarius. So Scorpio is your fourth house of home and family, um, parents, your country, your clan. Can be something mundane, but let's go with this powerful partner. It might be your current partner, and because of the shifts in October, November, because you're not the only one who went through. Everybody went through this shift. Um, your partner might have changed in somehow, and there might be an issue. Well, there may be the issue of commitment, like I mentioned, because Juno is in Scorpio. So maybe because this display of power that you think might be overwhelming, and your partner is wanting commitment, but you're starting, maybe to think a second thought. Or, like I said, if it was empowering and taking you under their wings and giving you this power and control, they might not want, they might be opposing some sort of a commitment. Um, or there may be a second person in the picture because I told you of Apollo, Juno, and Vesta. And please do not go spying on your partners. It might be because we have parents that are aging, living longer. So a lot of people are taking care of their aging parents. It might be the third person might be something of a parent because we have Mars in Cancer making a big splash for quite a long time. So it might be that, um, or it might be their business partner, or it might be your parent or your business partner, whatever it is. These squares are tense, and you guys are trying to solve it out. Because then we have Saturn in Pisces, semi-squaring Pluto in Aquarius. Okay, um, this is probably your Pluto pop quiz here, because remember, Pluto tests us, takes us down deep to the issues that we bury, the insecurity, the fear we have. And I've given the scenario of like going in a dark room, door being shut. We're scared at first. We extend our arms so we don't knock into anything. But if you stand still, the light at the back of your eyes will start making images out, um, and you lose that fear. So that's the analogy of Pluto. Pluto will take you down to your deepest, darkest fear and make you face it so that it cannot hold you hostage any longer. And I've said this before. Aquarius is not like Capricorn. It's uplifting. It's not like it was with Capricorn. Poor Capricorns. It wasn't like really sinister and dark and things like that. And I'm not saying Capricorns are like that. I'm just saying they're a very serious sign. Aquarius is different. So, what was I saying? I lost my brain. Oh, yes, Pisces. Saturn, like I said, has been restricting something about your eighth house of joint finances and intimacy, um, making you more reserved in that area because Neptune is still there and Neptune erases boundaries. And the semi-square to Pluto in Aquarius, again, with all this Scorpio and Juno commitment and figuring out where everything is and your psyche in the past, and then now joint finances, you might just be discussing again how to maybe share finances or what's happening with your joint finances. Anyway, you can. Uh, there's a grand square in these cardinal signs, and the four cardinal signs are Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, and Aries. Um, so you will these cardinal signs will definitely feel this intensity. But for you, these different areas of your life, you will feel it intensely. So, Cancer, your psyche, your house of secrets, and your house of faith, and then Capricorn, your sixth house of health, habits, and routine, and then Libra, your third house of communication, commuting, siblings, and neighbors, and then Aries is your 10th house of career, status, and reputation. So that is all squaring each other. And that's why I'm saying there will be this turning point, this shift. Um, and Tuesday is exemplary of that. It's like, all right, we've had enough. We gotta do something about this. Um, on Wednesday, thank God, Venus in Pisces, 70 sextiles, Chiron in Aries. So that wound that was triggered um, today on Wednesday, Venus comes in regarding intimacy and joint finances, actually relieves that pain, relieves that hurt. Um, yeah, it's compassionate. It's a very compassionate day here, very lovely day on Wednesday after all that stress. But uh, on the 23rd, Thursday, Mars in Cancer will sextile Uranus in Taurus. I need to get that. Hold on. So, with that aspect, again, Cancer is your 12th house of the mind or the past, and because Mars is retrograding, like I mentioned, so you're reviewing things, and this is regarding your psyche, your mind. So with this review, you're actually finding like um, comfort in regards to your status and your reputation and your career. Something about the past is you're reminded of, and you um, sort of repair that hit that you got regarding your career and status. And then Mercury in Capricorn um, opposes Mars in Cancer. Let me just look. Yeah, yeah, it is an aspect. I thought maybe I, by mistake, repeated it. So again, there is some kind of a practical information, news regarding your health, or a schedule, maybe about your job schedule, or a routine, or maybe taking care of someone. Um, that scheduling, that routine, that health thing, information that you're getting is is just not allowing you to have this peace of mind. It's at 23 degrees, so it's stirring up something from October, November. But then Mercury in Capricorn will trine Uranus in Taurus. So, like I said, and it's a 23 degree. Yeah, this whole day is you thinking about what happened in October, November, um, and you're all up in your mind. But so you might have this conversation or information about a health habit or a routine or a job schedule that is not working, uh, where it's not giving you peace of mind. But then when you review it, when you're reviewing this as Mars is retrograde, something from the past does help you heal that psyche, that mind. And then there's further information after you're reviewing it that there's further information regarding your health and schedule that trines Uranus and Taurus. So maybe you're changing your schedule, or maybe you're changing a health routine habit. Um, the best outlet for Mars is even when it's direct and when it's retrograde, because it's just a lot of pent up energy. The best is walking, or if it's, I mean, I know it's freezing cold at this time for people in the northern hemisphere. What you can do is like search YouTube videos for like home exercise or chair exercises. Even when you're sitting, you just want to expend that energy that's pent up with the Mars retrograde. And then at the end of the day, the moon enters Sagittarius. Yay! So we get some hopeful feelings, some optimism comes back in, um, and some relief. And Sagittarius for you is your fifth house of love, romance, children, and creativity. So you get this optimism, this hopefulness through that house, through those people. And then on Friday, Mercury in Capricorn. Is this the same one? Oh, yeah, this is the same one. It's a repeat. So no, let me just move on to the moon in Sagittarius. Will sextile Pluto and the sun in Aquarius. So, see, there we go. Whatever um, made you optimistic, and whoever made you optimistic and hopeful, um, maybe a romance or a child or something like that, is actually smoothing things out with this tension regarding power and control with a partner. Then the moon in Sagittarius will oppose Jupiter in Gemini. This can be a good aspect because both are fire and air signs, and both are fun, sociable signs, freedom loving signs. So this can be a great aspect actually. So again, Sagittarius is your fifth house, romance, children, and creativity. And then Gemini is your 11th house of groups, friends, and circle. So this opposition could be a breakthrough of an idea, a hopeful idea. And it can come through friends or maybe a romance or a child. It's a creative, nice idea. Maybe about this restriction you're feeling, the restriction of movement. So look to that. And then that is it for this week. Wait, can I have? Sorry, because my power went out because we're in Chicago and it's like freezing cold and the heater is not working properly. So I had to buy another heater and that put a power load and I lost internet. So I had to redo everything. So, oh yeah, on the 25th, Venus in Pisces will trine Mars in Cancer. This is lovely as well. Pisces is your eighth house of joint finances and intimacy. And you are getting more money here, probably, or shared finances is seeing another boom, um, and it is relieving your mind, your psyche. Um, yeah, that's what it is. Um, and any extra money that you're seeing here through joint finances or what have you, try not to, because I know Leos, they're very magnanimous and they do spend money and do spend money on children and romance and creativity and fun, and you really don't care too much about money, but because Neptune is still in your joint finances section, and because Venus will retrograde in Pisces, um, be careful with spending money. That's my own one counsel on that. Be careful with spending money. Try to be a little bit more frugal. Try to say no. Um, and you'll do it in your magnanimous, lovely self. All right, Leo, that is all. I'm sure you're like, what a ridiculous long weekly scope. I apologize, but this is a very important week. And I'll try to figure out how to condense these weekly things, but it's just not my style. All right, take care. I'll talk to you soon. Hi, Virgo. Hope you guys are doing well. So, this is my first attempt at doing weekly scopes, and I am sad to inform you that if you're looking for like a 5 or 10 minute scope, that's not me. um, one reason is this week is a really, really intense week. There's dynamic squares, oppositions, and a lot of agitation, but a turning point. Um, and I just don't like doing scopes where I tell you, just run down the aspects and then give you this vague theme of how it relates to you, and then start counseling you. I don't like those kind of scopes. That was one of the reasons actually I started doing this. Is I'd like to dig a little bit in deeper and make it personal, and explore the different scenarios, because then it gives you something to bite on. And especially for the novices or newbies, you want to understand things, not vaguely. You want to relate to it, and that's what I try to do. So, yeah, if you're looking for a short scope, I'm not the person. This is not the video, um, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes out. Maybe you guys will give me some suggestions. In any case, Virgo, um, this week has a theme of turning point, a turnaround, a shift occurs here. And the prelude to that is what happened last week, with a breakthrough, a realization, um, a revelatory discussion. And it harkens back to what happened in October, November, that those big moves that happened back then, and a lot of firestorms, and there was a lot of dust storm kicked up in the air. Um, Relationships ended, severed, became strained, separated, and of course there were, good, solid as a rock relationships that endured, or felt it through others, and it didn't affect them. Or some people started new relationships, engagements, marriages. It could have played out that way. It really depends where you are in life and on your natal chart. So at the beginning of the video, I did put up the planetary alignment and the degrees. Take a screenshot of that and then compare it to your natal chart and see where it might affect you. Okay. Um, but yeah, regarding that dust storm, those relationships back in October, November, last week there was Uranus and Taurus. Uranus is the planet of shock and surprise. It triggered some surprising outburst that revealed something to us, and we realized that that way, what happened in that particular way, was maybe too urgent, too fast, um, and we missed a signal or a piece of information, or we might have ignored it. And last week we got that information, and then we realized something, and it created a breakthrough of some sort. With that breakthrough came this. So that breakthrough, we healed in some way, because it was a compassionate understanding. We understood the other part of it, the other part of the story, and that coincided with the full moon in Cancer. So that is one quarter of the story that ended with that realization. Now, Cancer, it was Mars in Cancer, and Cancer for you is your 11th house of friends, groups, associations, your hopes, dreams, and visions of the future. And also, then Mars went on to Leo, and Leo is your 12th house of secrets, behind the scenes, the past, and your psyche. And then we had that explosive full moon, super full moon, sorry, in Aries. And Aries is your 8th house of joint finances, intimacy, inheritance, government benefits. It's the house where you benefit from other people's money. And Cancer also natally rules home and family and your mother or a matriarchal figure. And Leo also rules the 5th house of love, romance, children, and creativity. Um, Not to mention, Scorpio and Sagittarius was all in the mix. Um, and Capricorn, your exact 5th house of love and romance. So something ended back in October, November. Something was severed or temporarily separated. Um, so you've been feeling that, and also because you had a eclipse, full moon in Pisces, so something about a partnership. You're seeing the beginning of the end of something like that, um, and it could have. There was some foreign element as well, um, long distance travel, foreign place, um, something like that. That was all in the mix. So a big hot mess. And that is why we're still talking about it. We're still discussing it. It wasn't just one shift. It was many areas of our lives that um, became affected. In any case, I just wanted to let you know which areas of your life was affected. You can look up previous scopes to know exactly what it is, or and you can listen to your rising sign and your moon sign to get a clearer picture. But I'm trying my best to keep these scopes short. But how can I tell you what's going to happen this week, which is related to all this stuff, if I don't go into detail? Um, and this week sets up these really tense energies, um, dynamic shifts, arguments again, oppositions again, um, and it has to do with that breakthrough realization last week. So with the tense aspects this week, we are going to try another way, and what is happening then is um, we make a shift. We turn around. We're like, okay, this needs to end or start or something, but it has to change. Now, I will let you know that this is not the ending of the story because Mars is still retrograde in Cancer, and we are still missing the last piece of the puzzle, which we will get when Mars goes direct in Cancer and Leo. And that starts, I believe, in early spring. Um, and that's why I mentioned in your October scope, I believe it was, is when I said that whatever's ending here, there'll be a resurrection in spring, either with those same people or person, or it could be a brand new person or people, but the same flavor. So I just wanted to put that out there, because some Virgos, yeah, you guys, are having serious. You've had serious oppositions with partners, and some of you, it's about a child or children, and that can be really hurtful. So I don't want you to think that this is the end. It's not. Just yeah, just wait. Um, so before I give you, and I'm going to go into the aspects now, but before I give you those aspects, I just want to let you know about something that happened on the 17th. Um, so there was the asteroid Juno and it's in Scorpio. It did oppose Uranus in Taurus on the 17th at 23 degrees. And I'm stressing the 23 degrees. I hope you heard it in my tone, is because that is that degrees um, that Mars transversed over, and the super full moon in Aries that severed something. So um, Juno is about commitment, and she's serious about commitment. And when she's in Scorpio, Scorpio is an intense sign. She's even that much more serious. And Scorpio is your third house of communication, commuting, siblings and cousins, any extended family here, um, and social media and things like that. So there's um, there's a commitment that you want to keep or make in regards to this third house, whether it's your sibling or communication, social media, whatever it is. But it was opposed by Uranus and Taurus at 23 degrees, and or is Taurus is your ninth house of higher education, um, foreign travel. I'm just thinking, sorry, foreign travel, foreigners, mm, long distance travel, publication, um, and the World Wide Web. So, um, well, Uranus is the planet of shock and surprise in Taurus. And this commitment, it might be you wanting to keep a commitment regarding your communication. It might have to do with um, maybe technology or social media. But surprises in your ninth house of foreigners and people at a distance is opposing it. So, one example could be that maybe you have a partner or a romance or a child that is far from you, and you guys Skype or something like that, and you've set a schedule. But something surprising, unexpected things happen to this person at a distance where they can't keep that schedule, that communication open. And this may trigger either in you or this other person um, some type of jealousy or possessiveness or insecurity, because Juno was Jupiter's wife, and she was all about commitment. But Jupiter was a womanizer. So she was quite jealous of him and quite possessive. But she also would not relent. She would want, she would take revenge on all the other women. She did horrible things to them. So with Juno being possessive and jealous and revenge, and being in this very serious sign of Scorpio, who takes doesn't know revenge really well. This is um, next level revenge, is what I'm trying to say. And because it's in your third house of communication, um, you Virgo master have a mastery of communication. Your words are sharp. You actually rule sharp instruments because of the medical field. You hone in on something and you're exacting. So you can have communication style can be very sharp and cutting. So I mean, regardless of what I said regarding the opposition, I'm talking about if there was any jealousy or possessiveness and any insecurity, because it's your third house of communication, that might come out in your tone. Um, you can be very critical. So if that happens, and if it was not something mundane like the power went out and you guys couldn't Skype or something, if there is this sense of insecurity. On May 4th, when Juno will go retrograde in Scorpio, and we will again oppose Uranus and Taurus on May 4th at 26 degrees, and it's coinciding with Uranus's uh, uh, tour of Taurus, the ending of Uranus's tour of Taurus. And Uranus is the planet of shock and surprise and electricity. It comes in with a bang and it leaves with a bang. And you can actually attest to that because Taurus is your ninth house of foreigners and long distance travel, people at a distance. So for the past 7 years, you've had surprises in this area. But I'll give you um, one way Uranus acts in an abrupt manner. Um, when it first entered Aries back in, I think it was 2010, not exactly sure, but you can always Google it. But the minute and the degree, that it entered Aries was exactly timed with the Fukushima nuclear blast in Japan. Um, yeah, fire sign, and the planet of explosion and electricity. So that's what Uranus does. Now, in regards to this second opposition, and with Uranus leaving Taurus, if the challenge, the insecurity that came up on the 17th, will be revisited then. And if there is this insecurity, this jealousy or possessiveness, that commitment will not last. It will be severed. This is it's a powerful energy, and it cannot survive it. Like I said, please forgo because you worry too much. And I don't like sugarcoating things. I like telling people what is the negative and positive side of it. Um, if it is not resolved, that's what will happen. Uh, a breakup, and it can be, maybe it's not um, in regards to a relationship. Maybe it's a past relationship, something like that. It can be anything because it's Uranus. You can never figure out Uranus. So I just wanted to let you guys know regarding that. And I'll move on. On the 19th, the sun enters Aquarius. So um, we are already feeling this shift um, because we do have a last quarter moon also, I believe, on Tuesday. So we are already feeling the energy that something is going to come to a close, that we are going to do a turnaround. And it's exemplified with the sun entering Aquarius. Our focus shifts to our Aquarius related house. And for you, it is your sixth house of health, habit, routines, scheduling, taking care of someone, and small pets is also in this house, as well as chaos and gossip. So the sun is going to shine a light. You're going to see this house for what it is, and if you have any health issues at all, this is when you want to take serious notice because it is Pluto transversing Aquarius. Okay. Uh, then Venus in Pisces will semi-square Pluto in Aquarius, and Pisces is your seventh house of partners. It could be platonic, intimate, or personal, or business. Sorry, and so what it's showing you here, Virgo, is because you're very much into service and being behind the scenes, like letting other people shine, and you really don't ask for partners to step up. Um, what it's showing you here is whatever your schedule or routine is, if it is hectic, um, if you need help, you're not asking for it. Um, and Venus has been beautifying your seventh house of partners. If you had any issues with partners, it has been romanticizing it or bringing in money through a partner of some, because Pisces, strangely enough, rules also is about money. So Venus is attracting this romanticization and money through a partner. Uh, but it's semi-squaring Pluto and Aquarius. And the only example I can think of or give you is you are then feeling obligated to just do all the work yourself, and that will mess you up because your power from now to the next 20 years is getting your body and your mind in sync. And I don't have to explain this to the Virgos because you guys rule health. You rule this house. You rule the sixth house. So you know how to take care of your mind and your body. If you have um, issues regarding your psyche, regarding the past, it's going to manifest in physical ailments, God forbid. If you have physical ailments and you don't take care of it, it's going to affect your psyche. So you have to be in balance. And of course, if you're burning the candle at both ends, you're going to suffer in one of those areas, and then it'll just like a tumbling, a domino effect. So that's how I'm seeing it. And then, of course, you can give me your 2 cents. At the same time, and then after that, Mercury in Capricorn will sextile Saturn and Pisces. So Capricorn is your fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, and pets. Um, and Saturn has been in your seventh house of partners since 2 years ago, and it has constricted something, restricted something about partnerships. Um, because Neptune, like I said, not only is Venus beautifying this house, but Neptune has been making you idealize a partner. So Saturn came in and said, enough of that crap. Own your power here. Um, so that's why I'm saying you might have a conversation, a serious conversation, a practical conversation with a lover, with a romance, or maybe with a child. And you guys are, maybe this lover, romance, or child is advising you that, you know, don't take on too much because of a partner or something like that. And Saturn is approving of this conversation because Saturn wants you to have structure and boundaries there. All right, Monday, inauguration day. Da, 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 da. And it begins. What's that meme? No, 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 no. Run, run, Virgo, run. Um, we start off with the moon in Libra squaring Mercury in Capricorn. Then we have moon in Libra squaring Mars in Cancer. Then we have moon in Libra opposing Chiron in Aries. And if that wasn't enough, then we have the sun in Aquarius semi squaring Saturn in Pisces. All right, so Libra is your second house of money, income, job, value system, who you will or will not sell out for. God, I had such a hard time saying that in the full moon Cancer video. Finally got it. So that is your second house. And Libra also rules relationships. So your feeling about how you value yourself or how you value relationships is having a tense aspect, again, with a discussion with a romance, a lover, or a child. Maybe you're teaching the child, or maybe the lover is teaching you, or maybe an adult child, sees you, like I said, burning the candle at both ends, not taking care of yourself, not valuing yourself. And maybe, they're having a really, well, it's Capricorn. I wanted to say compassionate discussion, but Capricorn does not do compassion. It's more practical, and reserved. But you're, like I said, you're the master. Um, you're ruled by Mercury. You can read between the lines very well. And then with the moon in Libra squaring Mars in Cancer, again, the way you value yourself is actually, yeah, you are valuing yourself less than how other people value you. And you need to stop that because you can project that onto other people. So when other people try to lift you up and say, yes, you are worth it or whatever, Virgos, like I said, tend to shy away from the limelight. So you might be like, oh, no, I'm not because of this and that. Try to absorb their admiration because you have taken hits regarding your ego, and as it is, like I said, you shy away from the limelight. So the universe is sending you these people to lift you up, lift your spirits. Um, and then the moon in Libra opposes Chiron in Aries. Yeah, I mean, what else can I say? It's again, it's regarding your value system or your job. Maybe you're not working, and maybe that's why you're feeling less than valuable because it's triggering this wound, this hurt, um, with and in regards to joint finances, intimacy, inheritance, mm, government benefits, or what have you. And this can play out in many separate ways. But I just gave you one example, and it might absolutely not be relevant to you. But there are, I just can't go through all the examples I can give you, but that's one way. And hopefully, that gave you a taste of it. And then you can apply it to your own personal situation. Um, but later in the day, Cupido, the asteroid, was stationed direct in Gemini. And Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, is in Gemini. And Gemini is your 10th house of career, status, reputation, and authority figures. So last year, you did get either an opportunity or a boost regarding your career, your status, your reputation, and you were happy about that. It might have been a job change or just maybe a feeling or something like that. And you started working on that, but something stalled or it was put on the back burner because of all this dust storm in September, October, November, and also because Jupiter stationed retrograde. So it's going back. It's not expanding. It's just reviewing. But Jupiter will go direct on February 4th and start the expansion regarding your career and status once again. So Cupido turning direct here is a prelude to that. And what Cupido does is it ignites the passion regarding your career once again. So look to that. You're going to get some kind of, yeah, recognition and excitement. And all these people around you are trying to build you up. Now, like I said, that one example, if it's a negative, because these are squares and oppositions, even though I think squares are good because they jumpstart something. And oppositions can also be good because each side can benefit. Um, if it's negative, again, it's trying to trigger something, trying to jumpstart something. All right, let's go on to Tuesday. Tuesday is is well, if Monday was bad, Tuesday's worse. But let's see how it'll affect you. So on Tuesday, Mercury in Capricorn will square Chiron in Aries. So remember, Monday, yesterday, it was the moon that opposed Chiron in Aries. On Tuesday, there's some kind of maybe reprimand or again a curtailed or strict or reserved conversation, um, maybe in regards to a child, a romance, or a lover. That triggers again this hurt, um, this wound from the past, and where you're taking that hit is because of joint finances, intimacy, inheritance. So if you are being supported by a partner, that may be what it is. Maybe your partner is quite Capricornish, like maybe strict or something like that, and maybe you're depending on this joint finances, but um, yeah, they're maybe they are helping you, but saying like, okay, well, um, um, this is a one-time deal, or you gotta do something. They might be helping you, but with a warning or something like that, and it's triggering this wound, this hurt. Then the Sun in Aquarius conjuncts Pluto in Aquarius, which is actually this will be good for you. Because it's the sun, it's very, very powerful. And Pluto, of course, is the god of the underworld. So this is pure, raw power that is on display here. And that's what the universe is illuminating for you. Um, and again, the Aquarius is your sixth house of routine and scheduling. Um, um, so you might hear see that your power and control is through getting this routine right, getting your schedule right. Um, I mean, it's a really good area to have Pluto, the god of the underworld, and to have uplifting Aquarius. And um, if you do have a health problem or a schedule or routine problem, yeah, maybe it's showing you through a group, maybe, and maybe technology, maybe AI, something like that, is showing you where you can really nip this in the bud and get a really good. If your schedule is like erratic, maybe you can delegate it through AI or some kind of a technology. So, but look to Tuesday for this raw show of force and power that will empower you. Okay. hmm hmm And Aquarius rules, like I said, groups and ingenious people. Um, so yeah, look to that. Then the moon enters Scorpio, and remember, Juno is in Scorpio. Uh, so that's why I mentioned those asteroids, because we have aspects with Scorpio here. The moon in Scorpio will square Pluto in Aquarius. And Scorpio, like I said, is your third house of communication and commuting. Um, so yeah, there you go. So something what Pluto's showing you, a square can be good. It can jumpstart something. And since Aquarius is the genius of the zodiac, it's very futuristic. And maybe your schedule is all messed up because you have speaking engagements, maybe something like that. Or it could be that first example I gave you with somebody at a distance. So um, there might be some kind of, again, technology is involved somehow, and it's really helping you with your schedule or routine. If it is a tense out, like a negative, I'm doing air quotes, aspect, it might be just Pluto or the sun showing you that your communication or thinking, because the third house also rules that, um, or maybe you need to learn another language, or your tone, how you speak to others. Um, if you use a different kind of tone, it'll help you with your health, maybe with your psyche, maybe with the scheduling. I don't know, curious. Okay, Saturn in Pisces will semi square Pluto in Aquarius. Yeah, it might be your communication style because Saturn is restricting your partnerships some in some capacity, and Pluto wants for you to go um, with your routine and your scheduling. Maybe you're looking to a partner to help you because there's a lot on your plate, and Saturn is restricting a partner. And Aquarius, Pluto is saying, well, no, she does need help. He does need help. So maybe the friction. I know it sounds weird, but I'm sure each Virgo, like I said, can read between the lines and they can understand and apply it to their own situation. All right. On on Wednesday. Wednesday's nice and quiet and tranquil, the way Virgos like it, uneventful, because the Venus in Pisces, again, your partnership sector, well, semi-sextile Chiron and Aries. This is beautiful, Virgo. So, again, your partnership, and Venus is bringing money through your partnership, bringing romance and just nice, beautifying it. Um, it's probably this partner is probably with this wound that was triggered earlier in the week. This partner has a really nice thing to say where it makes you heal this wound. Because Venus is powerful. It's like not like the moon. Yeah, look to Wednesday for a really nice day for you. And on the 23rd, that's a Thursday, Mars in Cancer then sextiles Uranus and Taurus. Cancer is your friendships and friends. And because Mars is retrograde, maybe you've are not communicating with some friends, or maybe they got busy and you don't hear from them often, or something like that. But here, your friends, your group is actually Taurus, your ninth house, foreigners. They're giving you some kind of encouragement regarding your ninth house. So it's a nice aspect. But then here comes the party pooper. Mercury in Capricorn opposes Mars in Cancer. So whatever your friends or groups are like um, sending good vibes to your Taurus related house, your Capricorn related house, your lover, romance, or a child is again having that strict kind of conversation because they might be saying, well, no, um, friends are just being nice to you or something like that. But Mercury and Capricorn then trines Uranus and Taurus. Well, make up your mind, Capricorn, because then that conversation somehow turns. Maybe you with the conversation going back and forth. Then they also send good vibes to your Taurus related house. Because then the moon enters Sagittarius. Hallelujah. Yay. The energy immediately shifts. It's more hopeful, it's more optimistic, and all that. So, like I said, this turning point, this with all this intensity early in the week, and that breakthrough we had last week, midweek, we're like, okay, we gotta change. We gotta shift it. We gotta move, and that's why we're getting these nicer aspects towards the end of the week. And universe and its genius, the moon giving us Sagittarius to give us a really hopeful outlook. And then I missed something, I think. Let me just do one thing. Sorry, Virgo. On the 24th, we have the moon in Sagittarius sextile Pluto in Aquarius. Yeah, yeah, this optimism, this hopefulness, and Sagittarius is your fourth house of home, family, parents, your living situation. There's a feeling of optimism, and this sextiles Pluto in Aquarius because with Aquarius, with a health, habit, routine, scheduling, chaos, pets in the picture, you have to have a peaceful, hopeful idea of a home. You might be in a temporary living situation, or yeah, it looks almost like Leo's. Um, but you're hopeful because you know there's going to be a move soon or some kind of a bigger space for you, something like that. Because the moon in Sagittarius will also oppose Jupiter in Gemini, and this can be a really good opposition. Um, Again, Gemini is your 10th house of career and status. Let me just make sure so I don't make a ass out of myself. I don't know why my brain is not working today. Oh, sorry, I've been doing this for years, and I should already have uh, memorized this. Oh my god, I can't find it. I'm all over the place. It is your 10th house, I'm pretty sure. Um, and Sagittarius is your fourth house. And usually these two houses do oppose each other. But both of these signs, fire and air, very, very igniting and hopeful and beautiful. And Sagittarius is optimistic. Gemini is the social butterfly. So you enjoy a home with a lot of company and going and coming and what have you. Um, and since Jupiter is retrograde right now, um, yeah, the opposition may be good. If it is, again, air quotes, negative, um, it's the moon. It's a fleeting feeling because a feeling. It's not a conversation or something. The moon does two and a half days in each sign. So if there's a nervousness here, it's just a feeling that will quickly fade. And then on the 25th, Venus in Pisces will trine Mars in Cancer. Yay, very nice. Again, this is very flowery, romantic conversation, maybe with a partner, or again, you're benefiting with maybe money, or your partner might be looking really sexy, and it's giving really good vibes to your hopes, visions, and dreams of the future. Because your 11th house is groups and friends, but it can also be that. All right, Virgo, my dears. I hope, I know, yeah, please do not comment that it's most ridiculous long weekly scope, but there you go. I'll talk to you soon.